The New York Knicks are set to square off with the Orlando Magic in their first matchup of the season. We know the Magic will be without Paolo Banchero, but we also know the New York Knicks could not care less. Let's dive into this matchup, which will take place in Madison Square Garden.
I'm excited about it. I think the Magic and the Knicks are a good pairing, considering that when we're looking at the NBA Cup in particular, they're 1 and 2 in the standings in their group. So, this is one of them games. And if I'm not mistaken, this is an NBA Cup game, which I believe is going to be their fourth game because both the Knicks and the Magic are both 3-0 in the standings. And so they want to be able to secure their ticket to Vegas. So I can't wait to see what the outcome of this particular game is going to be. But Magic and the Knicks have a lot at stake in this particular NBA Cup game if they're vying for that championship. Yeah.
Yes, good point. It's nationally televised. I also think because these are two Eastern Conference contenders, we can expect to see more of them go head to head throughout the season, of course, but in the playoffs, I think they'll meet again in the playoffs.
I think so too. If they continue where they are in the standings, they will find themselves pairing up again on their road to the NBA championship. Absolutely. They have to. They're both playing amazingly. And why wouldn't they show up in the postseason, and why wouldn't they go deep as we are watching them play right now? Yes. And then what's really noteworthy is even without Paolo, the Orlando Magic are still balling, and they're able to maintain their position in the standings. Thank you, Franz.
For real. Yeah, the Magic have won 10 of their last 11 games. Wow. I mean, come on. Nobody expected this. They did hit a little bit of a bump in the road when Banchero first went out.
Yes,
but it
of
seemed
course.
like they got it together. They like, okay, this is our new normal for right now.
Right.
So let's just work with what we got. And Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs have really saved the day and probably saved their season, if you think about it.
No, they have. It has saved their season because honestly, usually when the main player goes out or the number one option goes out and you don't have enough other players that are willing to step up and really put the team on their back, then you find them slipping in the standings. And that has not been the case at all. As a matter of fact, they have moved up slightly in the standings without Paolo Banchero. This is not to say that Paolo is not needed on their roster. No, when he comes back, can you imagine? Now that we have Franz Wagner, have the confidence that he's been able to acquire while Paolo's been out. Jalen Suggs has found why he's needed on the team, especially with his new contract. Can you imagine now Paolo with his confidence coming back? What? And their defensive presence anyway? Oh my gosh. And you know what though? Another thing to be noted. Welcome back, KCP. Yeah. The Orlando Magic needed your 3-point shooting. Welcome back. I mean, let's look. Most recently from the Bulls, you went 6 of 10, and with the Nets, you went 4 of 5. Yeah, they need that from your 3-point prowess. You got it. They acquired you because of that, and your veteran leadership and your shooting from the perimeter. And earlier on, before those two games, you was missing in action. So
he was.
Oh God.
Okay, so the Magic will be on the first of a back-to-back. And this will be a 4-game homestand for the New York Knicks. They at home chilling, right? But they have the Miami Heat breathing down their neck for that number 4 spot. Not only is this an important game as it relates to the Cup, but I think overall, in terms of the season for the New York Knicks, I don't think you want to drop below 6, but it'd be good to be, somewhere around 4. That way, you can have home court advantage in the playoffs. Right. And I know we got a whole bunch of games to go before the playoffs, but all of this matters. These games matter right now.
For the teams that are currently top 6, these games matter. For the teams that are currently 7 through 10, these games matter. For the teams that are 14, 15, these games don't matter. No, I was playing, but they matter, right? And so I agree with you. I think wherever the team lands, they want to maintain a 1 through 6 seed. At least they get a week off before they have to go hard on the playoffs. At least that, because of the play-in tournament. If you find yourself in the play-in tournament, it's like flipping a coin whether or not you will advance. So stay up in 1 and 6. I think you're solid right now, but anything can happen. So I just think that then from the Knicks standpoint, the fact that Mitchell Robinson can't stay healthy, and then Precious Achiuwa is out again with a hamstring. What in the world? Now that they're without Isaiah Hartenstein, to help them in that area, Cat does an amazing job. Don't get me wrong, but Isaiah Hartenstein did bring something different to the Knicks roster when he was there. So, but guess what he is doing? Different video.
Yeah, so not only are they thin at center for the New York Knicks, I also think there's a problem at shooting guard, right? Mikal Bridges is struggling
Oh
right
my
now.
God.
And if you think about it, is it time to send Mikal maybe to the bench and have him be the sixth man and go ahead and double down on Miles Bridges or campaign? I think that's an argument that is worthy, for us to talk about. Is it time to send Mikal Bridges to the bench?
Yes, yes. And if they don't, if worst case, at least temporary, right? Until he gets his confidence back, because I don't know what's going on. I know for a fact this Mikal Bridges is not who they acquired. It's not who they wanted on their roster. They are probably kicking themselves right now that they had to offload Dante DiVincenzo, if anybody, and as opposed to get Mikal Bridges. Y'all thought y'all was getting Nets Mikal Bridges? Nope, nope. You don't even have Villanova Mikal Bridges at this point.
Yeah, and
So I
you
don't
don't.
know who you don't. So right now, this particular trade is appearing to be a bust. But I believe Mikal Bridges can get it together. I agree with you. I think it is time for him to go to the bench. I want Tibbs to have the courage to do it temporarily. Maybe that's what he needs in order for him to get himself back together, so then he can come back as a full-time starter and then start knocking it down and shooting like he was brought over to do. But right now, it's looking really bad for him. I don't like it.
Yeah, remember early in the season, he changed his shot and he was having issues, with his shot mechanics, and it was looking ugly. Then he changed it back to his original form. Then he started making shots, and I don't know, maybe he's right in the middle of adjusting his mechanics and not. I don't know why he messed with it, because when he was with the Nets and the Phoenix
Yeah.
Suns, he was lights out. And the funny thing is,
Yeah.
I think he's having a hard time adapting to this role, because really, it's the Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson show in New York Knicks with the New York Knicks. I know OG can get in where he fit in, and Josh Hart gonna do all the dirty work. We're not running no plays for Mikal Bridges, though.
We're not running no plays. The reason why OG Anunoby can fit so well in this particular scheme is because it's the same thing he did with the Raptors, right? So he knows how to get in where he fits in. I mean, he was never the number one in his previous role with his previous team. So to come in and probably be third or fourth best option at any given point, he's fine with that. And he's going to dominate in that. And I appreciate that. Cat should be maybe the second option. And it's only right because he came from the Timberwolves being the second option. Why should he, require a lesser role with the New York Knicks? And Jalen Brunson gonna have the ball. If he's not gonna do nothing else, he's gonna have the ball, right? And so Mikal Bridges is probably like, well, where am I fit in?
Yeah.
So you need to take a note from OG and get in where you fit in. Come on, if you don't have plays drawn up for you, at least be, active on offense and be ready. And when you do get the ball, shoot it and get it in a basket. What are you talking about? So no, I just think that he just seems like he still hasn't transitioned well into his new role with the New York Knicks.
Yeah, but quiet as kept, nor has Dante DiVincenzo with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we could just be in that adaptation phase, right?
Exactly. And both, unfortunately for the Wolves, they're struggling. Bottom of the West. For the New York Knicks, they have enough players to help maintain their top 6 seed in the East.
The thing with OG that I notice is that I think he lacks consistency, right? He may have a 40-point career night. And then, you know what? In fact, he did. And then he followed it up with 2 8-point games. What am I do with that? So you just never know what you're going to get from OG. But I think he plays within the confines of the offense.
Yep.
He does a lot of the dirty work too. Very physical player.
Yep.
I like OG, but
me too.
You might get 40 and you might get 8. I'm just saying.
So again, his third or fourth best option makes sense for him because he is inconsistent with point scoring, right? We get that. So he does his dirty work on defense, as he should. I mean, if you can't get your offense going, you better always have your defense on. So, I mean, if that's where he thrives when he's there, then I'm okay with that. But I don't look for OG to be the one to carry the team. That's not when I look at the Knicks, I don't see OG carrying this team. What I do see is Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, right? And if those two can't get it going, then we have to rely on OG. Maybe this will be a night where he's on, he can step in. But then what?
Yes. And then the thing about it, the Orlando Magic, I think They have to, specifically in this game, get balanced scoring, right? You can't have Franz Wagner doing everything and being all things, because I think you need Jalen Suggs, you need more of Mo Wagner, you need KCP to do what he does.
Yep.
And if they don't get that in this particular game, I think the New York Knicks can shut down Franz Wagner. Now, where are you going to get most of your point percentage from?
Right, because if the Knicks find a way to stop Franz Wagner, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
It will be a problem. And I think that Franz is savvy enough to be able to withstand that and maybe come up and be able to get back on track. But it is going to change the dynamics of the Orlando Magic's process if, for some reason, the New York Knicks figures out a way to stop Franz.
Mm-hmm. And Thibodeau is highly capable. But
I
I think Mosley,
you.
I think Coach Mosley can make the necessary adjustments to get Franz open and things like that. So, yep. A couple of videos ago, I challenged Coach Mosley to throw in Cole Anthony off the bench.
You did?
Come on. Yeah, this is the game.
Somebody send him the clip. Thank you.
Yeah, we need more. The New York Knicks need more from Mo Wagner and Cole Anthony in this particular matchup. They just do.
They do. I'm telling you, it's important that he utilizes his bench more efficiently, more proactively, perhaps, because the Knicks ain't gonna be playing. What I can rest is that the Knicks is gonna bring their defense on them. They're gonna come in.
Oh yeah.
And you're gonna have to go something to outcoach Tibbs. Now I don't think that Mosley can't do it. Oh, he's gonna be able to, go toe for toe with Tibbs, but it's gonna be not only is it gonna be a player match, I think it's gonna be a coaching matchup as well.
Mm-hmm. Because the New York Knicks have campaign coming off the bench. I mentioned Miles Bridges. Once he gets hot from three, forget about it.
Right.
The crowd urges him to shoot because he can go. He can hit them at a high clip. Yeah. And then you got Jericho Sims. I like Jericho Sims, a big body, kind of muck up things. So yeah. Looking forward to see what the bench players can do.
Right. I think the bench players are going to come in huge for this matchup on both sides, for the Magic and for the Knicks. And they're going to need their production to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if the Orlando Magic can shut down Brunson, get Karl Anthony Towns in foul trouble, I think the Orlando Magic can win this matchup. What about you?
I have Orlando Magic coming out of this matchup as well. I have Orlando Magic coming out of this matchup. Yeah.
Yes. However, I will say I put a little asterisk next to mine because but if OG has a career night, right? We talked about him being inconsistent, 40 one night, 8 the next. The Orlando Magic, I don't think they have an answer for Karl Anthony Towns.
You know what? They may not have an answer for Karl Anthony Towns, but I also question their three-point shooting. Now, I know that the Knicks can give you some three-pointers, right? I mean, you got Towns that can go to the perimeter and shoot. You got Jalen Brunson that can kind of get in where he fit in, right? Mm-hmm. You talked about Miles McBride can get in, and when he comes in and he can shoot from the three. They have a lot of three-point snipers from time to time on the New York Knicks. Unfortunately for the Orlando Magic, if KCP don't have it going, that could be one of the reasons why they actually lose this match. If the New York Knicks outshoot them on the perimeter, that could be something.
Yes, good point. All right, so let's look at the next 5 games for the New York Knicks. I have them playing the Charlotte Hornets, the Detroit Pistons, Toronto Raptors, Minnesota Timberwolves, and the New Orleans Pelicans. How do you think they'll do?
I have them going 5-0. That may be a little much. But the Hornets without LaMelo Ball, I don't know, right? The Pistons, I may give them some struggles. I think they can come out of that. I'm not saying these are going to be cakewalks. No, I'm not saying that it won't be, that it will be blowouts. That's not what I'm saying. But I think they can pretty much get past the Pistons, the Raptors, the Wolves. If they don't find they don't remove the softness from their game that Anthony Edwards called out, that may be a problem. So I think the Knicks can surpass that, and most definitely the Pelicans. We're going to be on the floor that night. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Although the Knicks need to win 5 games straight. I have them going 3-2.
Oh, who are they losing to?
Yeah, I think they lose to the Detroit Pistons because what JB Bickerstaff and those guys put together in Detroit is going to be tough. And I think the New York Knicks will take that game off. I think they'll be like, oh, man, it's the Detroit Pistons.
No, they can't.
You got to play.
Absolutely.
Play against the Pistons
Yeah, you
because,
got to play against the Pistons.
yeah. And I also have them taking a loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves because I think since Ant called them out, now the spotlight is on a couple players. I ain't gonna say who, but I think they'll get it together. So
we'll see. It remains to be seen. Okay, you got them going 3-2. I got them 5-0. Okay, we'll see.
In terms of the Orlando Magic, I see a Philadelphia two-step against the Philadelphia 76ers, the Phoenix Suns, OKC, and Miami Heat. What's up?
I have the Orlando Magic actually going 4-1. I have them losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You always have everybody losing to the OKC Thunder.
I'm just saying. That's my team right now. Have you watched them play?
I have. Very impressive.
I do. Anybody that's going up against OKC, for me, it's going to be a loss for them. I know that's crazy.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so I have the Orlando Magic going 3-2 on this stretch. I have them beating the Philadelphia 76ers twice. I think that's going to be really easy for them. I hope they can get up for it because they need these wins. But then they start a 7-game homestand.
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns, OKC Thunder, and the Miami Heat. Now, I think they'll lose to the OKC Thunder as well. And also to the Miami Heat.
Okay. I can see the Miami Heat. They look gritty. Miami Heat is gritty. I will give them that if Jimmy Butler's on. Depends on how he feels. The team goes on how Jimmy Butler feels. So it depends on what type of night it is for him, right? But yeah, OKC Thunder. Look at you going to give me a hard time. And yeah, you got him too.
I do.
I know. OKC is balling. But okay, yeah. 4-0.